Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Walker Ford in sunny Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? We have that SUV that has been the bread and butter for Ford since 1991. This is a 2021 Ford Explorer, but guess what? This Ford Explorer, this generation, is not only returned to rear-wheel drive, but this is the first ever Explorer ST. But before we get into this EcoBoost packed Explorer, let's talk about what's going on here. So like I said, 1991 was a banner year. That was the first year of the Ford Explorer. It has definitely grown in size and shape, but the same basic versatility is still there. Now, coming off the heels of a redesign for 2020, 2021 still brings a lot of the goodies that really has trickled into this new Explorer. First of all, we're going back to a rear-wheel drive basis platform. So that means if you get your standard Explorer, power is being sent to the rear wheels. That may not sound like a big deal, but it really is when it comes to handling. And then what you do when you go ST, we're adding all-wheel drive and twin turbo V6 power. Now what I want to do is, I really want to talk about, is this a real performance SUV? You know, we are always featuring here on Rady's Rise those German brands with the X5M and the Audis and everything else in between. Does this Ford Explorer ST, does it bring a good amount of performance for the money? And is this really a true performance SUV? Let's go ahead, dive into this Ford Performance Ford Explorer ST and find out. Right off the bat, I love the color. It's called carbonized gray. It's got a nice metallic tinge to it, but it really showcases the style, and it's not too loud and obnoxious when it comes to colors. Starting at the front end of the business, of course, we have a whole new redesign that happened in 2020. So carrying over, you're gonna have your LED headlights. Love the style. The way they did the headlight housing, I think they made it look really stand out with a lot of character. LED lighting, LED daytime running lamps. Drop your way down, what do we have? We have a functional side air curtain. So glad they just kept it flat black. You have more exterior lighting than as we drop down, a little bit more flat black, but then if you notice, we have some gloss. And I'm gonna slide my hand and follow as we come to the middle section, that lower edge area. I would call it a lip spoiler, but it's really not. It's not extending that far out, but it is gloss black to kind of break up the sea of flat black material. You do have functionality in this bottom portion. Remember, we're gonna have intercooled turbocharged, twin turbocharged V6 underneath that hood. So we want to get air to those coolers and heat exchangers. We also have this larger opening in the center. Now, when you go ST, you're going to get these specifics only for this particular Explorer. Not all Explorers look as aggressive as the front end of the business of this one. Gloss black on the grille. I like the kind of wave design going on, but you have that full functionality. I'm gonna move out of the way to showcase that ST badge. Sports technology. That's what is being brought to this Ford Performance product. I wish they would have blacked out the Ford badge, done the black with the chrome finish. I think that would have fit this a little bit better, being a sport-oriented performance SUV. We do have a forward-facing camera, and you do have that Explorer name badged onto the hood. This is another thing that I wish they would like sink these letters a little bit into the hood so that they're not just stuck to the surface and not looking super clean. But of course, it lets you know what vehicle that you bought, this Explorer ST. You have no power bulge, but you have an indentation, a U-shaped indentation. Gives the hood a lot of style. I do like the hood overall. Just wish they would have sunk these letters in to clean it up a little bit. Coming around the bend, there's two different ways you could get your ST. This is your entry level, and that's another thing I want to look at, which I'll talk to you in a second. So you're going to get these standard machined aluminum, gloss black wheels, 20-inch wheel, 255 on the width, and a meaty 55 series sidewall. One of my zonks is, if this is a performance SUV, because remember, that's one of the questions, right? If this is a performance SUV, why are we wrapping the wheels with Michelin Primacy tires? This should have Pilot Sport 4S tires to give you better grip, but you can get an actual brake option upgrade, which will give you different wheels, a little bit larger, more performance oriented on the brakes, and you get a little bit stickier tire. But I really think that on all STs, they need to be wrapped in those Super Sport 4S tires. to give you a little bit more grip. But plenty of room between the inner fender and the top of the tire. Flat black, I wish they would have painted it. So I am gonna zonk this, and I am definitely zonking those tires. But it would have been nice if this was all carbonized gray. You do get on the ST, gloss black on the mirror caps, slim and trim on those LED turn signals, A-pillar. So remember, you have A, B, C, D, so on and so forth. The A-pillar, I'm so glad they blacked it out. Nice flat roof. Flat roof design gives it a little bit boxier feel with this generation Explorer. Down below, we got the gloss black with a little bit of flat. Nothing too heavy on the gloss black, which is good because that's just gonna get all scratched up. But I really like the nice body line on the top portion near the belt line. It really gives it a nice muscular look from the side profile. Now, as we come towards the rear, still 255 on our width, so it's not that the rear wheels and tires are any wider. 255s, all four corners. Good size on the quarter window. The roof spoiler, it extends off. I just wish it extended off a little bit more. Get rid of this wiper, zonk that, just tuck that underneath there and have it swing down. At the back, I like it, it's clean. You have the gloss black with the Explorer name stamped in there. A little bit larger ST badge, which is nice. I wish they would have put a nice large one up front. LED on the taillights. I'm not really in love with these, but let me know in the comment section how you feel about that design. And then as we drop down, the great news is you will be able to tow with your Explorer ST. It does have that quad tip exhaust. The only thing is that the exhaust actually come out the bottom of the pipe, not the actual proper portion of the pipe. And everybody has their stories about exhaust fumes going in to the back of the vehicle, even with this closed. That sounds like something that they should have fixed that problem rather than having the exhaust coming out the back. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Explorer ST. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, which I am gonna zonk at this level of SUV, but what you'll notice is you're gonna get a massive girder style strut top brace here to stiffen up the front end. A lot of what you see on this vehicle is what the Police Interceptor version of the Explorer has. Underneath that hood, I'm glad there's no engine cover. Yes, there's a lot of wires, tubes, and hoses, but that's what a modern engine looks like without the big plastic cover to make everything disappear. But what you're looking at is that 3-liter EcoBoost engine. That's a twin turbo V6, 3 liters in displacement, 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic, and like I said, all-wheel drive, getting the power to the ground. 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. Quarter mile goes by at 13.8 seconds at 101 miles an hour. Top speed is governed to 146 miles an hour. MPGs, 18 in the city, 24 on the highway. Like I said, you can get that optional brake performance package, which is going to give you 21-inch wheels, which they look drop dead sexy, by the way. Just for the sexiness of the wheels, I would go the route of the bigger brake option, and you're getting the larger brakes, larger rotors, calipers, the whole 9 yards. Don't think though that this is the first time that there's been a American-made performance style SUV. It goes all the way back to the early 1990s with the GMC Typhoon. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what big things the Explorer ST brings to the table. All right guys, we're inside this 2021 Explorer ST. Does not have the big brake option, but it is not the enthusiast version as well. So the enthusiast version, remember, is gonna be a more bare bones rear wheel drive setup. This thing has the all wheel drive. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, when I was a kid, I wanted a GMC Typhoon so bad that I made one out of a really large cardboard box that my parents got a refrigerator in. I painted black and it was the fastest thing on my street. I'm really liking this Explorer ST with the all wheel drive. How much is it? So this one, non-big brake option, but it's got more than the enthusiast package. You're looking at an MSRP of $57,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, I do like what they've done to the whole Explorer lineup with the door panels. Soft touch material. I like the nice white contrast stitching, the aluminum speaker grill covers looking clean. This has the optional B&O sound system. There's a bit of gloss black on the door handle pull there, but other than that, everything else is gonna be nice flat black. You do have a super size door pocket there, so you could easily put a Subway footlong You could get a cold cut combo, extra pickles. You could do double meat. That's how much space is there. And a bottle of Mountain Dew to wash it down. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material, here's where it gets a little bit zonky. This right here, this plastic material, it looks too much like plastic. I wish they would have done something a little bit more. And then WTF, what's going on with the fit and finish here? The gap is just ridiculous, especially this high portion here. You do get that vertical style infotainment system. It is similar to what you would find in a Tesla product. I'm not really in love with it. The reason why is it just seems like an afterthought. I actually like the smaller 8-inch. I know you never hear that smaller is better, but in this case, I think it is with the infotainment system. Now, you do have navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and it is very easy to use. It's very intuitive, and to go through all the different settings and whatnot. Here is the other issue. Watch this. Look at how small that backup camera is. You're gonna need your Explorer ST magnifying glass. You do have 360 cameras, which is great, but could they make it possibly any smaller of an area? Why don't they just put it up in this little silver area up here? That would just make it perfect all the way around. But in all seriousness, they really should have done a little bit more to bring the screen down and fill up that real estate. But coming back down, you do have some gloss black, and it is in an area where you see the fingerprints and the dust and the dead skin that's sitting here. You're also gonna get some glare. The great news though is we have ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, heated seats, and dual climate. Drop down, we got some nice metallic silver, open sesame on this door. And what do we have? Boom. You got a little bit of a storage area in there. You could easily put, I'd say, about 8 Twinkies, a 12 volt, a USB, and a USB-C. No wireless charging here, but wait, you'll see, you'll be made happy. We do have a nice Pop-Tart holder. Put your Pop-Tart right there. I also have nice little storage. You could put a small banana. So if you're trying to watch your potassium, have a little bit more potassium, have a banana over there. We do have, this is gonna control the 10-speed automatic, very similar to what you find in the GT500. So if you want a little taste of GT500, you could get it in this Explorer ST. 2 cup holders, ST on the badge, on the fob here. I like that touch. Of course, you're gonna have remote start and everything. Nice weight to it. You got your drive mode selector switch. Here's your wireless charging. So it does have wireless charging, and I love the leather on this armrest. Nice and soft with the stitching. Open sesame, what do we have? This is a felt line tray for your pistachios so you don't scratch your nuts. And the great news is that if you want to drive around with that baseball that Ken Griffey Jr. signed before he retired, you could put it in here and it's not going to get scratched. And you got a 12 volt, so you could put like a little 12 volt alarm system. So if anybody goes to steal your balls, the alarm will go off and everybody will know that they're trying to take your balls. Seats, more of that great leather, the stitch work, ST badge, perforated in the center as we drop down. And what do we have? We have full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. It would have been nice to have some Recaros in here. That would have been a nice touch. But what we do have is this panoramic sunroof. Look at that. Goes all the way back. Doesn't stop. I'm not stopping. Nobody can keep me down. Look at that. Boom. Come right back. I got plenty of headroom in here. I'm 6 feet tall. Plenty of headroom. This thing keeps stopping on me. There we go. Plenty of headroom. Make the sun go away. It's hot right now. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Explorer ST. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 3 memory seat settings for the driver's side. I like the Ford Performance badge. Remember, when you buy this Explorer ST, you get a free day at the Ford Performance Racing School. You could choose Utah or over in North Carolina. I do like the easy accessibility to the seat controls, especially that lower lumbar. Ooh, that feels good after a hard day of work. Speaking of work, this is where you're gonna saw on this wheel. I absolutely love the thickness, the perforated leather. It's a semi-flat bottom with the ST badge. You do have paddles to go up and down the 10-speed. The only problem is they're small and they're made out of plastic. Wish they would have done something a little bit better with that. It is tilting and telescoping electric assist, and you do have that nice digital gauge cluster. Now, what's great about it is, watch this. This is normal mode. You got tons of different modes. So there's your normal, eco. We're gonna leave it in sport, but you got slippery when wet, you got tow mode, really, really clean. And then another thing I forgot to tell you, you actually have massage seats. on the driver's side. So think about it. You could be going down your favorite twisty road, even do a track day in this thing. I would change the tires, by the way. And you could get a massage while you're going lapping around Sebring or Laguna Seca or wherever you're at. But why don't we get to the mid-row, see if your passengers are gonna enjoy this Explorer ST. All right, guys, mid-row time. And this is where this new Explorer, like I said, that's all new for 2020, being brought over into 2021. You get to experience all the extra room. Oh, wait, hold on a second, my phone's ringing. Hello? Oh, hi, Jim. Yeah. Oh, I did? Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, no, it's easy. We're filming right now. All right, thanks. That was Jim Owens, the Ford Performance Manager for Ford Corporate. I guess I forgot to tell you the sizes of the screen, and he's all about size. So that's a 10.1-inch infotainment system screen size and 12 inches. Bam, visual pleasure in that gauge cluster. So I'm glad that he called me so that I could give you that information. 12 inches and 10 inches. Take your choice. Backs of the seats, covered in the leather. I like the way they notch out the back. They do give you a little bit of a pocket here. Put a back scratcher, put an abacus. Hey, put a dictionary, maybe a Bible. Maybe you got somebody who's driving who doesn't know how to drive and you think they're gonna drive off a cliff. Maybe a Bible would do. But you have your rear AC, heated seats, but no ventilated seats, and that's a zonk at this price point. But they got you covered power-wise. USB, USB-C, home power source. You got your Skittles tray down there. I got my own pocket, so I could say some Hail Marys. Plenty of headroom. AC vents are in the ceiling. I like the way they do a meaty armrest. Ford has finally woke up and showed the world that you need to have a meaty armrest on these captain's chairs. Boom, it's gone. And then there's a wonderful little party center here. Put your tacos. It's got burrito holders and some nice little churro holders there. So that's really great. And then the seats. I mean, they slide and they recline. So you can't beat that. Let's go ahead, let's check out the third row and see if those passengers are gonna be just as happy as you are in this mid row. All right, guys, third row time, and this is where, you know, we've been on a good run. We had some really good times together in the front seat. We had some great times in that mid row. Get your head and your mind out of the gutter, by the way. This third row, though, it's not as fun. Somebody tall like myself, if you notice, I'm sitting upright. My knees are a little too high. I wish they were just a little bit lower. I had to move the seat. This is all the way forward. So if somebody comes back and wants to recline, I'm gonna have to punch them in the kidney to get them off my legs because they're just gonna get crushed. I do have AC vents in the ceiling. The other thing is, where's my USB back here? So I guess I have to go get a long Ford Explorer ST extension cord for a USB so I could connect up there because there's no connectivity back here. You do have cup holders and some, you know, Skittles and M&M trays back here, but I need the real important stuff. I need to keep my phone charged. God forbid, right? Your kid's phone dies. That means your life is now hell. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo area and see what we could haul in this Explorer ST. All right, guys, time to get into the cargo area. It's real simple. They make it idiot-proof. You just hit the button, boom, nice electric assist, comes right up. If you're wondering, well, Joe, how much room do we have right here? Because if you notice, I can just sit back here like this. You got 18 cubic feet of space. Now, if you're wondering, Joe, will these seats fold down? Watch how easy it is. Right on this side, we got a button. You hit L and R. Doesn't stand for Lori Rady. It stands for left and right. Now, we're looking at over 40 cubic feet of space. You fold down that mid-row, you're almost at 90 cubic feet of space. I like the way that they do have a 12-volt on the passenger side if you're going camping, tailgating, going to the beach. Another thing I really like, and I wouldn't tell anybody about this, is you got one heck of a storage compartment. So if you have that special person in your life telling you to lay off the snacks, don't tell them about this compartment and fill it up with all your snacks. Ding-dongs, ho-hos, Twinkies. You could fill it up with nachos and just pour melted cheese all over it and just stand back here when nobody's looking. That'd be kind of weird, but it's your secret snack stash. Say that 20 times fast. Also, you could just remove these. So you could say, hey, this is all the room we have, guys. But only you know how much room you really have. You got your subwoofer back here to go dump. Nice amount of room, but you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Explorer ST for a little spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. We're in the 2021 Explorer ST. I have it in sport mode. Remember, we got 400 horsepower, all-wheel drive with that 10-speed. Let's go ahead. On throttle, here we go. Drops down and we are off. Fast shifts from the 10-speed. Actually quite proficient of a transmission if you're looking for something to give you that straight line acceleration and snap off those consistent fast shifts. Now, 400 horsepower, it's interesting. Like, there was once upon a time, if you had 400 horsepower in a vehicle, it was like really crazy. But now that horsepower numbers have just gotten ridiculous, when you look at like the Challenger and Charger red eyes with 797 horsepower, when you compare this to other performance SUVs, they too have also increased. A lot of the competition, 500, 600 horsepower is where it's at. So being a mid-size SUV, you might find it you wanting a little bit more horsepower. But like I said, if you want that all-wheel drive, if you want that Explorer, but you definitely want to have one that's made for the enthusiast, this one does check off a lot of boxes. I like how easy it is to get to everything, and that digital gauge pod is super, super clear to read. When you go through the different modes, like we are in sport mode, the graphics change and everything, so that's a really nice extra touch depending on the personality of the driving that you're wanting to do. But the one thing that just seems to be a little awkward is that infotainment system, that vertical screen size. I wish they would have kept it at 10 inches and just turned it horizontal. I think that it would actually fit the dash a lot cleaner, obviously, than the way it does right now. Good steering feedback, and the best news is that with this being a rear-wheel drive based chassis, it's actually going to contribute to the overall good handling characteristics of this SUV, even though we have all-wheel drive. And like I said, if you wait a little longer, there is going to be a what's called enthusiast version of this Explorer ST that's rear-wheel drive and a little bit more bare bones. But as we're going over the different styles of pavement, it actually does a great job. The dampers do a great job with the compression and rebound, adjusting to everything. Now, they aren't adaptive dampers or magnetized suspension. That probably would have been a nice little extra touch. And to be honest with you, if you are comparing this to the big brake option Explorer ST, this one does ride a little smoother because you got the 20-inch wheels with a little bit more sidewall. And remember, we're talking about also this having those Michelin Primacy tires, which is a little bit better of a tire when you're cruising on the highway, not so much performance oriented. My advice, like I said, if you're going to go this route, just spend a little bit more and go the big brake option. You're basically going to be driving a police interceptor Ford Explorer on the streets, and you got the all-wheel drive, and you got the beautiful 21-inch wheels, bigger rotors, bigger calipers, thicker anti-sway bars, so it's just going to perform all the way around a lot better at that level. And we're not talking about bank braking. I mean, you're already at $57,000. Another $2,500 or so will get you into that big brake option. But driving down the highway, it's smooth. A little bit of wind noise I'm noticing from the side mirrors, but the great news is the side mirrors are nice and large. You got all your safety features, that Ford 360 protection, so that you make sure that you arrive alive every single time with lane keep assist, emergency braking, the whole 9 yards. But we're gonna see if we can find an area to turn up the wick a little bit and get on throttle so we could really showcase what this Explorer ST is all about. All right, guys, I have it in manual shift mode. We're gonna shift manually with the paddles, third gear, second gear, on throttle. Here we go. On the brakes. Initial turn-in feels good. That all-wheel drive, look at this. Here we go. Tires just need to be a little upgraded, but other than that, powering out, super smooth on the shift. So using the paddles obviously is gonna increase the engagement overall of the driving experience. And the shifts are actually really, really smooth, whether you're going up or down the gearbox. Now, the good news about that is that because they're super smooth, it's gonna help keep the chassis stable. And I'm telling you, I know I'm talking about like apexes and track days and stuff like that. This thing is actually quite capable. And if you go to the Ford Performance Racing School for your free day, they will show you just how capable this thing is. It is going to surprise you. But here we go. Let's try this again. On the brakes, downshift. Look at this. Beautiful. Super smooth. Nice turn in. Powering powering out. Here we go, on throttle. Now, one thing I noticed when I came out of the corner and I got on throttle, the back end came out just a little bit, and that's the all-wheel drive system sending that power forward and to the rear, depending on where it's needed. You could feel the flex in the sidewall. Because these have the 55 series tires and they're Michelin Primacy tires, which is better for fuel economy, you can feel the flex happening, but in a way, it's more forgiving. You're just not gonna have the ultimate level of grip. Just swap those out for Super Sports or 4S's and you'll be way better off. But here we go, on throttle, downshift, second gear, turn it in, here we go. Nice, powering out. Balance. That's another thing that they really did well on this Explorer, is how the chassis is balanced, especially compared to the last gen. That last gen being front wheel drive based really didn't have the great feedback. Even if you went Explorer Sport, it just did not have the feedback like this one has. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what it's bringing for your hard-earned money, $57,000. Please let me know in the comment section how you feel about that price point. But we're gonna get back to Walker Ford, wrap this one up, and I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Walker Ford. Definitely gotta thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Mark, Austin, Greg, the whole crew, getting us access to this Explorer ST. It's one of those things. If you're looking for a 3-row midsize SUV and you wanna go with a Ford product, this Explorer does check off a lot of boxes for that versatility. Yes, it's bringing some extra performance. Is it enough for the price? I want you to tell me in the comment section what you think about that. And then on top of it, the enthusiast version, which is a more bare bones version of this. That's gonna be an interesting concept as well to see how that goes down the pipeline. But if you wanna keep seeing performance SUVs like this, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the first link, become a Radies Rise Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Radies Rise merch. Got to give it up to the best videographer in all of the universe and neighboring universes as well. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. Show us some love in the comment section. Thank you, of course. As always, I'll see you on the next ride.